Alright everybody, we got another tutorial here today for you. Today we're going to be talking about how to swap up your fan speed between 5 volts and 12 volts. And probably a lot of y'all are saying, yeah, there's a million videos out there how to do this. Pretty much the videos that you're going to find, tutorials that you're going to find, are going to show you how to straight wire your fan. And what that means is you're going to hook a wire between your fan and straight to a 12 volt power source on your board somewhere. So when you turn your Xbox on, it's going to be wide ass open all the time, 12 volts, loud as hell. You don't need that all the time. You know, sometimes if you're playing for hours on end, you want to kick that fan speed up to get more of that hot air out of your console. Now, I mean, there's a million different mods that you can do to consoles to keep them cool. They got the XMC or XCM, I can't remember. The V2 Cool Dual cooler, which one of them sits right here over top of this added on heatsink, and there's another one that sits back here in this back corner. That also pulls a lot of air down on it. There's the Whisper fans, the Whisper Max fans. There's a bunch of different things you can do. This here is just a basic something you can do at the house without having to go out and spend $50 for a fan. Works just as good, you're just minusing the LEDs in it. So let me turn it on real quick and I'll show you here how it works. I'm pretty sure you can hear that. It's just a basic fan speed. It's running at 5 volts right now. This is where we got our switch right here. Just a basic toggle switch, nothing to it. You can pick it up at Parts House, AutoZone, anything like that up there. These Walmart probably even have them. And this is our switch. There's the hole right there. We're going to mount it. I have another one on the case as well for it to fit through. Okay, so there's your 5 volt speed. Now I'm pretty sure you can hear the difference in the fan speed there. That's running at 12 volts. So I mean, like I said, it's very noticeable. Pushes a lot more air around. Turn it back down there. Let me turn this off. Now this is another thing right here too. These newer consoles, Microsoft actually done something worth of shit with them. You can hear the fan still on. See their green light flashes. And it'll cut off in just a second. There it goes. That allows the console, like if you've been playing for a couple hours, once you turn your console off, the fan stop on the old models. So you got all that heat inside that console and it ain't got nowhere to go. So with this new designs they got, the fans still run to suck the heat out. So like I said, this is fairly simple. What you're gonna need is go get you a toggle switch, of course. Your stock 360 fan. Now I just leave it in there. You can pretty much see. Not too difficult to do this. Alright, what you got here is on your side over here where your I call it the motherboard power. That's what we'll call this here, and then we'll call this the fan power. That way you can distinguish between the two. Alright, there's 4 wires. You got a red, a brown, you got a black, and a blue. Alright, your black and your blues are going to be, that's your ground for both fans. Your brown and your reds are going to be the hot, and positive, whichever you want to call it. Alright, now there's 2 of those. You're going to cut that in half. There you'll have 4 wires. You'll have 2 coming out of the motherboard power and 2 coming from the fan power. Okay, what you're going to do is take these 2 that are coming from the fan power and, here, let me pull this fan out. It'll probably be a lot easier to see this than for me to sit here and try to explain it to you. There we go. Okay. Well, the glue was stuck to it back there. Okay. This will kind of give you a little bit better idea what I'm talking about. See, there's your brown and your red. That's the fan power. They're cut from the motherboard power. That's where you get your 4 wires. Then you're just going to get another black or red or pink or green or whatever the hell color you want to use. I just use black and red. Then you're going to tie these 2 wires together, attach your other wire to it. You're going to solder them. That's the best way to hold wire solder. I mean, if you want to use electrical tape, duct tape, whatever, you can use it. This is what I use, and I put hot glue on there as well to insulate it so it doesn't touch anything. But as you can see, it'll get stuck to the case when you try to take it out sometimes. It's just the way the shit is. Alright, so there's your fan. Okay. Now, see, the ground wires are still attached. I never cut those. Alright, now here's this is going to be what I call this the motherboard power supply. Brown and red. Once again, you got it cut. Those are your hot wires. You're going to run another piece of wire off of that. Same deal there. Solder it to it. Go around it with hot glue to insulate it. Now your switch. I'll get to the 12 volt source here in just a minute. Basic, like I said, you'll have three prongs, 3 of those on there. You're going to want to take your supply that comes out of the motherboard. Now that's going to be your 5 volt supply. Okay, so you're going to want to run that to the top or the bottom, whichever one you'd like. Then you're going to have your other wires that are coming from the fan. You're going to want to, should I turn this where y'all can see it? You're going to want to hook that fan. See, this comes out of the fan. This is the brown and the red cut from the fan. This is the brown and the red cut from the motherboard supply. So you got that one running to that side, and you have the one from the fan running to the middle. Alright, now where are you going to get your power from? There's a million places on this board to get 12 volts of power. You can get 12 volts, 7, 6, all of them standby. But the easiest one to get is actually going to be up underneath of your PSU, where your PSU connects to. There's a series of pins underneath there, and they're numbered. Now, actually, I can't remember which one it is. I want to say it's 4. 4 is going to be your 12 volt supply. So you're just going to take your one. Now, double check that first and make sure before you go wiring it to something else and it don't work. But I can't remember which one it was. But like I said, I want to say it's 4. Alright, so you got your wire. That's the way I kind of rig mine up to come out of there. Just run it along the side, and I used a dab of hot glue there and there. Okay, that just kind of holds it to the board so it doesn't move. Hot glue is not going to hurt the board at all. So that's like the best thing to secure your wires. If you're running wires in your console and you want to hold them in one place, hot glue works. It's awesome. So that pretty much is how you wire it up. Once you got everything wired together, test it, make sure it all works. So I mean, like I said, this will help a lot of people. I mean, if you're looking to do something like this, you don't want to go spend the money on to buy a Whisper fan. Like I said, this one here, this was for a customer, and he didn't want to spend the money to buy the Whisper fan, so he asked me what I could do with just a 12 volt. Now what you'll see up underneath of this here is we done an X clamp repair. Now, this isn't just a basic X clamp. This is what they call the hybrid X clamp fix, which is a lot better, because if any of y'all have ever done an X clamp repair, you know that the screw heads are usually pretty thick. Alright, so when you put your board back in your chassis, it's going to cause bowing. And one good way to tell the bowing is when you try to put your RF board in, you have to push down on this silver piece behind it in order to get it to slide in. That there is that's the first sign showing you that your board's bowed. And all that's going to do is just warp it, and eventually it's going to red ring on you again. So we're doing it this way here. The board it sits completely flat in there. There's no bowing. This one here had we done the hybrid X clamp repair. The board was completely went over and reflowed, and done the fan upgrade. So this console should last for a long time. So that's pretty much the tutorial for y'all today. If you got any questions, anything, just send me a message. I'll answer them. I'll get back to you. Anything you got, any repairs, anything like that, I can pretty much help you. If you don't completely understand it, just send me a message. Now, like I said, whenever you go to get your switch, double check to make sure the size of it now, because mine, this here is a 15-30 seconds. that's the size of the drill bit that you got to use. So you might get one that's you might get a small switch. It's only 1/4 inch or 5/8 or whatever. So you want to make sure the size of it, so you got a drill bit that's going to make the hole, because you don't want it to look like crap when it comes out. So but that's pretty much it right there. I'll probably make another quick video after this, and just to show you what it looks like once it's all put back together. So like I said, any other questions or anything, just send me a message and I'll get back to you. Y'all rate, subscribe, and I said let me know what you think. Send me some feedback.